Good evening and welcome to Crawley Borough Council's Cabinet of the 2nd of October 2024. I'm Councillor Michael Jones, Leader of the Council and Chair of the Cabinet. There are no scheduled fire drills tonight, so in the event of the fire alarm sounding, please leave the building via the main spiral staircase and through the main reception doors. Once outside, please turn left and make your way to the fire assembly point located beyond the multi-storey car park on Exchange Road. If you're unable to use the stairs, please wait in the council chamber and you'll be guided by a member of staff to the evacuation lift. This meeting is being live streamed via the council's YouTube channel. Please note that there is a no comments function available as part of this webcasting. The council is the data controller and will retain the data collected during this webcast. This will be done so in accordance with the council's published data retention policy. Any members of the public seated in the public gallery should be aware that by entering the chamber, they're consenting to their image being captured by the automated camera system. Recordings will be used for webcasting and or training purposes. Councillors are reminded to take note of what is displayed on the screens in the room, as this shows what is being recorded and webcast. Cameras are currently set to capture you in seated positions, so please remain seated when speaking. You can request to speak as usual in committees by raising your hand. To speak by pressing the button with the face on it, and the microphone will go green when you are live. We will now commence with apologies for absence. Have we received any apologies for absence?
Yes, Chair, we've received them from Councillor Rana, Councillor Sue Mullins and Councillor Chris Mullins. Thank
you. Disclosures of interest. Does any member have any disclosures of interest? No, I don't see anyone indicate. Now we come to the minutes of the meetings held on the 4th of September. Does the Cabinet agree that the minutes are an accurate record of the meeting? Thank you. Public question time. There is no one in the public gallery, so I will not rehearse the ground rules. So item 5 is further notice of intention to conduct business in private and notifications of any representations. Please can I ask Chris Pedlow to confirm if we've received any notifications?
Chair, there's been no notifications.
Thank you. Item 6 is matters referred to the Cabinet and any report from the Chair of the Overend Scrutiny Commission as normal. Councillor Ayling, I'll bring you in during each item. So that moves us on to item 7. We will start by considering the Crawley Borough Local Plan 2023 to 2040 report. Cabinet is being asked tonight to consider the local plan and its supporting documents and recommend their approval to full council. Councillor Nawaz to present.
Thank you, Chair. I'm really pleased that our Crawley Local Plan 2023-2040 has been found by the independent planning inspectors to be legally compliant and sound. This is subject to some relatively straightforward modifications in the inspector's final report issued on 6th of September 2024, which you can see set out in the Cabinet report. Inspector's final report marks the successful end of the local plan examination and significant period of plan making for the council, which has taken a considerable period of time since the local plan review started in 2018. As we know, this plan has been successfully navigated such a unique combination of challenges and is a fantastic achievement. And I am delighted that we can bring our local plan to Cabinet, seeking our approval to refer the plan to full council and request to adopt our local plan as a policy. That's quite an achievement, and finally is happening, which is a great news. As you're probably aware, since 2018, our local plan has benefited from no less than 5 separate periods of formal public consultations, considerations, and has also received positive endorsement by full council 3 times as well, as a thorough examination in public by the planning inspector. The only options available to the council at this stage are to either adopt the plan in its entirety with all the main modifications required by the inspectors, or not adopt the plan at all and immediately have to start all over again from the start and work on a new plan, because all authorities are required to prepare and maintain an up-to-date local plan. Without the new local plan being adopted, decisions on planning applications would ultimately be taken away from local decision making. This would risk very poor development being approved, which failed to reflect the local needs. It would also not to be possible to secure essential Section 106 and community infrastructure levy financial contributions to invest in critical infrastructure, employment and skills. However, should the new local plan be adopted by full council, then the council will be in a much stronger position to ensure new development meets a range of local requirements to benefit Crawley's local residents and economy. This obviously includes better housing mix, affordable housing contributions from all residential developments, investments in sustainable transport, skills and net gain of biodiversity, as well as protection of Crawley's heritage, environmental and recreation assets. Overall, Inspector's final report has a range of very positive conclusions for Crawley. I must highlight the Inspector's confirmation of the allocation of brand new strategic employment site, Gatwick Green, which gives such a significant boost to jobs and businesses growth opportunities in Crawley. The inspectors are also extremely complimentary about our groundbreaking new strategy on water neutrality, the first of its kind in the country, and about the quality of our duty to cooperate with neighbouring authorities. A very good and really positive outcome. Adopting the plan will safeguard the ability for the local planning authority to assess planning applications against local policies and prioritise for years to come. I'm delighted to support the recommendation as set out in the report for Cabinet to request the full council adopt the new local plan, and I'm very hopeful that full council will respond positively and move to adopt the local plan for Crawley's great benefit. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nawaz. I'll bring in Councillor Ayling to present the Commission's comments.
Thank you. The Commission considered report PES 459 of the Head of Economy and Planning, and during the discussion with the Cabinet member and the officers, the following comments were expressed. Noted what the positive comments from the Planning Inspector's report, including their questioning of long-term safeguarding for the possible Gatwick Southern Railway runway. Also, that there was a need for neighbouring local authorities to exercise the duty to cooperate to assist with the town's housing need. I can't say it.
Clarification,
thank
Councillor Ayling. Yeah.
Right, was sought and obtained on the Gatwick Green location. It was confirmed that the area of land located to the Gatwick Green was no longer safeguarded, but allocated for employment use. The Commission thanked the planning team for the work on the local plan. The Commission noted the report and requested that the views expressed during the debate were fed back to the Cabinet through the Commission's comment sheet. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ayling.
I can say it now, clarification.
It's always the way, isn't it? I'll now open the debate for other Cabinet members. Would anyone like to? Councillor Evin.
Why not? I'd just like to say, I think this is a very forward-looking and positive plan for Crawley. I'm looking forward to its endorsement at the full council meeting. I would like to ask a couple of questions on the housing aspects of it. First of all, I'm pleased, obviously, that we're maintaining our 40% affordable housing requirement. We've had that in place for quite a few years now, and it's been very useful in providing housing for people who can't afford to buy out on the open market. What I would like to know is we recognise there's a minimum of 5,330 dwellings required. Over what timescale is that? And given the way we build in this town, we don't build high-rise for a variety of reasons, do you think we've got enough land within our borough to actually meet that requirement? Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Councillor One. I believe this is quite a technical question, but I think our officers probably have an answer ready for that. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. With regards to the timescale for the delivery of the 5,330 dwellings that the plan identifies, that's over the whole plan period, so that's from 2023 to 2040, so a 17-year period. There is a housing trajectory in the back of the plan which identifies the years in which those dwellings are going to come forward to the best of our knowledge, and identifies those sites that we have, that we are aware of, that go into those. So it identifies specific housing numbers to housing sites. So that then comes to the second question with regards to whether there's enough space in the borough for that level of housing. It is challenging, and it will be challenging, and it will certainly require some skill and some talent from developers and applicants to design sufficiently and carefully to fit within the borough. However, we think that is a realistic number. It is based on, as I say, actual sites that we're aware of, and then there's an element of windfalls, and the element of windfalls has actually gone up since the adopted plan, but that does take into account the higher densities that are being pushed by the government and genuinely that could come forward. It certainly doesn't mean a reduction in the quality or the space standards or the housing mix within those dwellings, which obviously the other policies in the plan will also stand up. But it is a figure that we believe and the inspectors have found to be a robust figure that would be deliverable within the borough. There is obviously a level of unmet needs which we are not able to accommodate within the borough so comfortably. But that is without going high rise, although obviously in the town centre there are opportunities.
Thank you very much. Any other observations? Councillor Noyce.
Yeah, I'd just like to echo the fact that I think it's a very positive plan and going forward, and I welcome it.
Thank you, Councillor Noyce. In the absence of anyone else wishing to speak, I'll say a few words about this. There's nothing probably quite as important as making sure that we plan and we deliver the best designed town that we can deliver for our residents, and that is vital, and that's why this local plan is so important. And it's about keeping local control as well. The adoption of the local plan is critical to ensuring that we have local decision making and control in regard to housing delivery, affordable housing targets, as Councillor Irvine mentioned, new commercial space, employment sites, care homes, all the amenities that our residents want from us. And as a borough council, I think there's probably fewer, more sacred duties that we have on behalf of the public than actually to ensure that we have a robust plan in place, one that will help us to defend planning authority decisions in planning appeals successfully should that happen. One of the most important things it does from my perspective is that the new local plan will reinforce the council's ability to argue its position in relation to development proposals from neighbouring authorities on Crawley's administrative boundaries, including to do with anything to do with the impact on our infrastructure and housing needs, and opposing such development where necessary. And I think that will be very relevant in the period to come, for good or bad. And without this local plan, all those local policies would be significantly weaker, and we'd have far less chance of successfully fighting Crawley's corner. Now, I would really like to say, or share with Cabinet, indeed everyone, how delighted and relieved I am that we've made it to this stage. The draft local plan's been through some immense challenges since its review commenced in 2018. And I really want to congratulate our high calibre strategic planning team for their excellent work in overcoming those challenges. If any member of the public should be in no doubt, it has been a mammoth task, which will protect our borough from poor and unscrupulous development for many years to come. And this has all been achieved, this has all been done on top of the Gatwick DCO, all the challenges to do with water neutrality, and everything else that seems to have been on the list of planning challenges. And I would have to say, not as a joke, but to a certain extent, if you were a planning officer, some of the issues and problems that have beset the borough in the last few years could almost be examination questions for the length and depth of what a local council might have to contend with. So, huge thanks for us there. And also, I think I must express my deep satisfaction that on all the major issues of contention that we faced during the local plan and its hearing, I think I'm right in saying that the inspectors supported in large virtually everything that we put forward, and I think that's a real show of actually how solid our arguments were and our submission was, and the strength of the case behind it. So thank you again to officers for that. So to just conclude now, the local plan must be adopted by a decision of full council. I think Councillor Nawaz went through the options for councillors at this point. I think it's take it or leave it, isn't it, at this point, without a very lengthy return to the process. So it is intended for this to be considered at the next meeting of full council, which is being held on the 16th of October, in accordance with the timetable agreed and published by the council. So now I've had my say on that. I move that the Cabinet is recommended to request to full council that full council be recommended to adopt and publish the submitted Crawley Borough Local Plan 2023 to 2040 and Local Plan Map, amended to include all the main modifications recommended by the planning inspectors to make the plan sound, together with other consequential and minor amendments as additional modifications in accordance with Regulation 26 of the Town and Country Planning, Local Planning England Regulation 2012 and Section 23, Subsection 2 and Subsection 3 of the Planning and Compulsory Purchase Act 2004, most importantly as amended by Section 112, Subsection 3 of the Localism Act 2011, as set out in Report PES/459. So, on the basis, can I have a seconder? Councillor Nawaz, thank you. Is that agreed? Thank you. We will now move on to consideration of the exempt reports. So I move that under Section 100A, subsection 4 of the Local Government Act 1972, the public be excluded from the meeting for the following items of business on the grounds that they involve the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in Part 1 of the Schedule 12A of the Act by virtue of the paragraphs specified against the items. Is that agreed? Then for the purposes of anyone watching, the recording and live stream will now finish. So thank you to anyone who has been watching, and there'll be a brief moment while we wait for the broadcast to cease.